Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of MuscleModelCars.com. This is AJ back with you with the finished look of the 1966 Rambler Classic. A few things about it. It actually wasn't too difficult to put it together or anything because when I purchased it, it was like a lot of these pieces here were already positioned into place, and I had to take them apart and break the whole thing down and paint it, and then just piece it back together. So it's not a whole lot of parts. As you can see, this here came as one piece. At the bottom here, all of this is all pretty much molded together as one piece, but I color coded everything as far as showing the separation of the transmission, the oil pan green, and just the undercarriage of the vehicle. This here was the wheels were white walls, but I made it how I had it in high school. Painted the trunk and the muffling system coming out of it. Not too, nothing special about it. Definitely not a muscle car, but it was a very, sturdy car. It's my high school car, what I used to drive around with my girlfriend in, who's now my wife, 45 years. But other than that, the problems I had with this one in particular just popped up last night. Some glue came down off of the windshield. The back is fine, but I'm going to have to get some glue and put in here and clean that up a little bit. Painted the, you can see the windshield wipers and all of that, all of the name plates and everything, the badging. I used some color wash on this. Painted the headlights. Painted the turn signals. For the front, I got to do the back. I'll do that when I get off the air, but there's some back here. These are going to be painted red. Also did the name Rambler right here, and then I think it's Classic down here somewhere. Yeah, right there. So this was a fun one to brought back some years, high school, junior and senior year. Thing about this, it was a 6-in-line engine, 232. And let's see, the wipers worked on vacuum engine, the vacuum engine compression. So if you were driving this at about 40 and a big rain came, the windshield wipers, you would have to decelerate for the wipers to go faster. I do remember that. So living in Chicago, you got the snow, you got the sleet, you got the rain. So it was a lot of adjustments with the gas pedal to get your windshield wipers to work. It was a simple dashboard on the inside, not too much. You had a pull handle on levers to pull wipers, to pull. They had cigarette lighters still in at the time. Let's see. Any of the instruments you needed were just strictly you pull it out. It was real simple, basic, nothing to it. The wheels, I try to keep it realistic as possible. But on the interior, I did have two pillows, like, pillows you would put on a couch, but smaller ones that I could lean for armrest. Green, okay, of course. I put carpet on the windshield, and I mean not the windshield, the dashboard. Shag carpet going across here. Thought that was pretty cool, a neat little thing. Yeah, I was 17, so, and this was the car given to me from my mom uh, to drive. Then what else we had? The seats I used to like, good for dating. They cranked back and laid flat. Okay, so that was another plus for a teenager in crucial moments of the night when you couldn't afford to get your own place and with your girl, so you could make out pretty good in this car. And I purchased these like with my second check from Burger King, being high school junior. I was working at Burger King. Remember I told you I had to pay for my insurance, so I was able to get two wheels. So I couldn't afford the other two up here, so I rode around with two mags on the back and hubcaps on the front, factory hubcaps. Um, then we had the, um, let's see, this is a classic, Rambler Classic. They call it, some of them are 770s. This was a 232. The 770s, I think, had some detailing up here that made it look kind of fancy, chrome stripe right here on both sides. And like I said, it wasn't a fast car, but for a teenager, it didn't need to be. But we used to race them anyway. Our old cars, we all had old cars, with weird colors that were, I guess, from the 60s generation that was phasing out into the 70s, late 70s. And the high schoolers were getting these from their parents. So that's pretty much what we had here. The color was the exact color that we had. This green here, close as I could remember it, get it. The bottom part was like a color of comet almost, and the top was like this a lime, but metallic flaked. So this is the closest I could get to it. Like I said, I could have put four mags on here, but it wouldn't have been true to how I drove it. This is the exact way I drove it when I was coming up. Um, Not too much to it. We got it simple, and it's reminiscent of me in my high school years. So we are good with all of this. I did some black stain here, black wash, to make it look a little bit realistic when it was not no toy look on it. So I wanted to black wash it, and I let it sit for a while and kind of give it a weathered look. And other than that, it was a very good vehicle to be in. It was sturdy, but brings back a lot of memories. So we're done. A tribute to my mother. And I showed you last week with the Galaxy 500, my father. And the next thing I'm probably going to do is get with the back to the series that I used to do with all the series I can remember when I was coming up. And so I'm going to start with the Batmobile. And then that's a snap tight though. So if you guys have kids or something, you want to show it to them, I'm gonna let them. I'm gonna do the Batmobile. That'll go pretty quick. I'm going to do the. I want to say the Black Beauty from the Green Hornet because Kato was my boy Bruce Lee. And then I'm probably going to go to my Pinto that I drove in the late 80s before I moved to down south for a few years. I got offered a job down there when I was in my late 20s and in quality control. So I packed the family up, moved down there for about 5 years until I got offered another job back up here in Illinois in quality control, electronics. So and troubleshooting. So I'm going to get that car, and I got a few more cars that's in between those time periods. I'm gonna try to find them, and I'm gonna try to find my military vehicle that I drove when I was in the military, driving it back and forth from Texas, back Fort Hood, Texas, back up here to Chicago on the weekend. So that was a fun thing. Me and about four guys would always drive. We had about four of us lived up here. Two of us lived here, and then other guys would come up with us from other states, and we would go with them sometimes to their hometowns over the weekend if we didn't have guard duty or something. But we had to be within when we didn't have to be in a muster formation, which was basically a it can't be more than I want to say it was 8 hours away. So we were like 17 hours away, but we could do that if we didn't pull guard duty or whatever. But if it was a muster formation, we couldn't leave further than an 8 hour drive from the barracks, and that was during a time when Russia and I think Ayatollah Khomeini had took the hostages, and they had took all those hostages, and I think the president was Carter, Jimmy Carter, and let's see what else was going on back then. I had just left this with my next oldest, youngest brother. Um, uh, he may have driven it, or he may have gotten rid of it. They may have traded this in for a Thunderbird, which was I had two younger brothers, three total younger brothers. Uh, Two of them were closer to me in age, where my other one, my youngest brother, was. He used to ride in the back seat here, and he was my I call him my magnet to pull the younger women, make them think I was a big boss baller with a kid and everything when he was my little brother. So this back seat he used to ride in, and they didn't have. I don't think they had the car seats back then though. So I just would strap him in. He was able to walk and everything, but I would. He was my talking piece for me with the girls. So, and he turned out to be a pretty good young man. He's about going on 50 now. So he, you know, he has memories of this. Maybe I don't think so, because he had to be about 4 or 5. But my next to my oldest one probably took this after I went to the military, and then the second older, younger one, probably remembered it also. But I do know when I came back from the military on leave, they had a powder blue Thunderbird. It was like an 80 something Thunderbird, powder blue. So they probably got rid of this during the time I was going stationed down in Fort Hood, and then um, they just kept moving on up with different vehicles. So this is it. This is all it is to it. I messed the window up a little bit with some glue dripped down overnight. The back is still okay. I'm going to have to clean this up with that goo, which is this here, Goo Gone, and that'll get you put it in there, and then it'll you let it sit and just rub it, and it'll remove supposedly all of it. I mean, I've used it before, so it works pretty good, but you got to be patient with it, and don't let it get on your other paint. Uh, I'm going to try some different techniques with this interiors on other cars now, because sometimes they can get pretty small, and as you can see, it can get kind of small and intricate in there, and you can't be really neat. So that's the problem I have with that. Other than that, this is it. Thank you very much for watching. Let me show you what I got here. Let's go with, this is the vehicle that I'm going to put together right here. And this, as you can see, is a 125 scale, but it's snap assembly, no glue needed. But you can do some painting on some parts. And this is, I used to watch this show all the time. You guys who about my age know what that is. The Batmobile, the first Batmobile. Now you got about 7 or 8 versions of it. And I may end up trying to get one of each. But this was the, and then you got the characters and everything that goes with it. And I'm going to show you the parts to it. These are the characters that go inside when you get it all together. And this being a snap tight, you don't have to do much painting. On other parts you can, like the windows and everything, but it comes like this. So this would be good for a starter, someone who's just starting out, to just kind of get them acquainted with putting together pieces, models, clean with no glue or anything. Just get them a snap tight and let them work their way up to detailing and painting and striping and everything. What else we got? We got the wheels for it. And then you got the parts of the body that comes. A lot of them are pre-painted. I don't know if you can see the stripe already in it. You can see. And they do it for you with the snap type models. They usually come like that. Just the undercarriage of it, molded. You're going to have to do some painting here to do the separation of everything that's in there. Pretty cool looking. But we'll separate that. And then for a snap tight, it still has a lot of parts. This is some of the chrome pieces in here. I didn't take it out, but there's a lot of chrome in here that's going to go on the vehicle. These are the rims. Then you got other bat symbols down here and everything like that, like the bat. And this probably goes on the wheels and everything. They'll have to be painted and everything to make it look like the vehicle. And then you got the seats and interior components and engine components. I would imagine will be in here somewhere. It's not much to the engine being a snap tight. Snap tights usually don't really give you a bunch of components with the engine because it's already preformed and everything. So you're not going to see it. You're not going to be taking it apart. So they don't, you can paint the different portions of where you can, but other than that, you don't really see a whole bunch of engine parts on snap tight models. And here is the more, and these looks like they could be I'm not sure this being, but whatever the parts, components on the Batmobile still. Like I told you, it's a lot of parts. Yeah, these are the windows, as you can see. These are gonna have to be detailed with chrome to make it look like the windows. And then I do believe that may be about it. So we're gonna move along with that. And then after that, we're gonna go to the Black Beauty. And I'll show you this one, but this one would be good for if you got grandkids or something and you want to get them into the game. Uh, Start them off with something like this to keep them interested by it being, I'm sure they're familiar with Batman. But I don't know if they're familiar with our Batman, but they know the name Batman. So hopefully they'll get it together and put it together and start liking what they're doing and graduate to using models where they use glue and do it neatly enough and have fun with it. So that would be my take on it. So again, 1966 Rambler Classic, all done, just the way I drove it in 1976 through 78, and then I enlisted in the military. And when I got back home, it was gone. One of my brothers may have, younger brothers may have taken it and traded. They traded it in for them to get them that powder blue T-Bird. So that's what it is. It has some weird colors in the 70s, though. We actually, our police department went off, and I've never seen it happen, but they had all police cars had different colors. And that was in 77, I do believe. It was a weird thing to see because normally police cars are black, white. In Chicago, they were blue. Detective cars were, unmarked. But to see actually suburban police cars have different colors on each one, that was weird, okay, to me. But anyway, thank you all for watching and letting you know what to expect. And we will see you next time. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And we'll see you next time on musclemotorcars.com. Enjoy the weekend. Okay? Bye-bye.